Hi everyone, it's Laura, Hyperstamper. I have a journal to show you. This is a brand new journal that I made out of a antique book. So this cover is called The Heritage of the Desert, and this is a Zane Grey, very popular artist, author in the early 1900s. And this book just has this lovely water with the hills there and the sand. It's quite beautiful. So I didn't do a lot to it. I just added this wonderful bangle, covered up the spine because there was damage there. And I've got these lovely vintage beads on here and some matching ribbon and fabric. So let's take a look inside this little beauty. I left the original pages in here, so you can see that the date of publication was 1910 here. The sign of the sunset. I love that. No, I did not dye that with tea. That was like that. I love that the person who owned this book was either a coffee drinker or just really messy. Nice little cluster here with some sewing instructions from a vintage pattern. Again, I didn't do that. That was on this wonderful Nielsen's hand-typed recipe. And they're all quite stained, this Nielsen's recipe collection, which they're almost all gone now, but I just love them. I hope it was hot chocolate because they're all chocolate recipes. Quite fun. 1950s Theater Arts Magazine page there. Some plays that you might recognize. And this is a feather here. It's a beautiful orange and brown feather. And then some little sparrow feathers here. Nice little cluster. And here I've got a late 1800s, early 1900s watchguard dial. And then a nice receipt from 1953 from Brox's Milk Company. 55 cents. Remember those days? So here's Irving Berlin's Success 1925 music box review, and that's the cover of his piece here, All Alone. Look at that beautiful image of this woman. She's stunning. And then I have a removable paper clip here and the pocket with a little vintage jewel there. And then this is from the 1800s, this book page. And I just slipped it in because there's this beautiful pansy image there. And there's some spots to right on the back. And that's from the early 1900s as well. Another little gem here. This is a very old print that my sister gave me. Asked if I wanted to use it in my journals, and I had it out of her hands before she could change her mind. It is so beautiful. It's an iris, and that again is early 1900s. A real find there. So those are my two little hidden pockets I made out of a sewing page from a sewing instruction book from the 50s. Here's a great little photograph. I think it's a dad and a son, and I want to say back here is a goat or a dog or a goat dog or a gog or a dote. It's late. I should go to bed. Okay, I'm still going here. All this wonderful, authentic antique ephemera just makes me so happy. Cocoa nut butter cookies. Ah, a little play on words there. So this is all authentic antique and vintage ephemera, except for these tea dye pages, which I added for extra journaling space and for you to do your own artwork or writing on. And I have lovely little Peggy and Paul find Laddie the dog. Put a little antique paper page here just to cover up some plain type, a little dictionary picture there. And this is from a 1974 book of seeds, highly collectible. And that's all about vegetable seeds there. And this is from Freckles' 1904 page. Look at that pretty hat there. Isn't that beautiful? And this is a souvenir program from 1958 from, I believe, I want to say the Yukon. I think the Yukon Gold Rushy kind of souvenir book thing. And one of our big stores up here at the time was Eaton's, no longer around. 1928 Billboard magazine page. And just, you have to read these ads. They're awesome. Speed Girls, Red-Headed Blondes, Jazz Time Review. So they were looking for people to do vaudeville and burlesque and be magician's assistants and carnival people. Just really, really fun read and telling of the times. And this is a lovely page out of the 1915 Girls Own Annual. Just this beautiful garden here. And on the back, a lovely, lovely print of a cottage in the countryside. More seeds. Nice little cluster here in antique paper. The Mad Tea Party children's book page. And just a little journaling envelope I made and tucked into this vintage doily pocket. And that's a page from the original book. I put it in because it was blank. More journaling space. And this came from a teacher's book, teacher's instruction book, how she would have led her class in lessons. Beautiful images though, just, children's illustrations were the best, just the best. Here's a piece of vintage upholstery fabric, and underneath is a little hidden journaling spot. And I put these in all my journals, a Paris, France almanac. This one's from 1938, and it is a July. You can ask me to switch it out for a date that's more important to you. It will be in French, of course, but how much fun is that? And this beautiful mountain lake scene on one side. And then, oh my gosh, look at this. The death of the something man. Oh, that's fun. He's I'll let you, I won't spoil it. That's really fun. I made this pocket out of a little children's book page and a canasta score sheet up here for more journaling space. Whoop. And this is from an Italian lesson book. And here is, I know this photo isn't in, it was not over, what do you call that? It's not in good shape, but the laughter on these girls' faces is precious. So I did include that in there. I thought it was really wonderful. And this is another antique book plate. And I just put some antique paper on the other side, also to journal in, or do artwork on, or glue your own photos and memories into it. How fun would that be? Another antique postcard. Is that fun? That is from the late teens, 1910 to 1919-ish. And from the Emerald Isle, here is another poem. This one's called Blarney. How much more Irish can you get than Blarney? Lots of space there to play with and journal on. And that one is from the very early 1900s. And this, as is this page here on gardening. And here is another this is the cover of a university yearbook, the Delphian. My niece got me this, and I've used every single page and was holding onto the cover, and I thought, how pretty would that be in a journal? And I really think it is. It's awfully fantastic. This is a little bank receipt from the early 1900s. I believe on here it says 1918. And this is another receipt from Massachusetts, 1953 as well. And that one is for, I don't know. Oh, liver, comics, all kinds of fun stuff on there. Neato Pepito. Okay. And that's on a bridge, vintage bridge instruction booklet page. Oh, this was that book, Where's My Mother? And this is the end where he finds his mom. Very sweet. Another Italian book page, 1930s Monopoly money, and a very old set of stamps here with the Queen. And here is another plate from an antique book. And I've got the back blank here for you to journal on as well, or you can tear it up and use it as clusters in your own journaling artwork. A lovely vintage recipe page here, and one of the last of the, look at that, Polish embroidery. There's nothing prettier in the embroidery world. And that is a plate from 1955 out of the book, full color. More fun recipes there. Another blank journaling antique page. Little illustration from a children's book. And this is from a botanicals book up here. Isn't that lovely? That page is on leaves. 4 months in Uganda from the original book here, Mescal. And that brings us to the end. So that's going up on Etsy now. I hope you can visit me at hyperstamper.etsy.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much.